right, Western Water Sports crew, ahoy. How's everybody doing? Welcome back. I'll get the multi off the screen because that's irrelevant to this game. I do have a multi on. Let's run through it quickly as we get ready for this game. Warriors versus Bulldogs in wet conditions. I have decided to keep things nice and tight in amongst the forwards. So I have gone Halasima, anytime try. Preston, anytime try. Wateni Zalesniak or Tuala, an ALB combo. Bronson Sherry, Adam Pompey, ALB combo. I'll try and get that up on the screen. Burko, ahoy, mate. KX Zua, 62. Ahoy. Paul Casso. Ahoy, mate. Up the was. First meeting. Ahoy, mate. XJC. Ahoy, buddy. Welcome along. Welcome back, everybody. Innocent Anglerfish. Ahoy, mate. Go the Mighty Warriors. Jim Condon. Ahoy, mate. Teams coming out onto the field now. Okay, so I'll try and get the multi up on the screen. And I'll tell you, I've gone Halasima, Preston, Wateni's. Oh, look at the rain. Wow. The rain hammering down. So I'm glad that we sort of picked based on rainfall. I've got to believe that the Bulldogs have been practicing in the wet weather. It really has been an Achilles heel, though, hasn't it? Oh, this is going to be a good game. I can feel it. Maybe not good in terms of the conditions and the ball handling and whatnot. It might actually be abysmal in terms of quality of football. But whenever we get a nice close game, and we've sort of been lacking that so far this round, haven't we? Everything's been one-way traffic. The Storm dominated the Broncos. Panthers dominated the Knights. Raiders dominated Manly. Dragons dominated the Sharks. Roosters annihilated the Dolphins. We're yet to see a close game play out this weekend. All right, so we'll try and get my multi on the screen. I said Halasima. Let's just watch this update in real time. So Halasima obviously starting from the bench. But I dare say he'll still get enough game time to make an impact. So Halasima, he was my first pick. And also, given the conditions, we're going to keep things in close, in around the forwards. Jacob Preston was my second pick. The Bulldogs' second rower there. Loves a good try. I think there'll be some kicks through into the in-goal. They'll be looking for it to sit up for Preston, or he'll be on the back end of some crash balls if the Bulldogs are close enough. So we're going Preston there as well. Now, who else did I pick? It's going to be very interesting to see. I am so tempted to flip this tip over to the Warriors. Based on the rain and how the Bulldogs perform or don't perform in the rain. Oh, Wateni Zalesniak and Tuala. So I've got them in an ALB combo. I love having DWZ. Mr. Soul Glow himself. I love having him in my multis. It wouldn't be right if he wasn't. Wateni Zalesniak and Anari Tuala. ALB, anytime try. Kickoff is moments away, so we will maybe not finish this multi off in time. I mean, I've already got it placed, so it's okay. I just might not get it all on the screen in one go. Sammy Salsa says, final prediction, Bulldogs 42, Warriors 12. That is a bold one. I love it. I love it, though. I love a good, bold prediction. Warriors will be kicking off. How good is it to have Saturday night footy back on free-to-air? And I've gone Bronson Sherry, Adam Pompey in my other combo. Have the Bulldogs been practicing wet weather football? Yeah, Bronson Sherry, Adam Pompey. I didn't really want Adam Pompey. We're underway, the Warriors with the kickoff. Bulldogs, first use of it. Let's find out where they're at with wet weather footy. Because it is hammering down out there. And I'm not talking about the hammer. Yeah, I really didn't want Pompey in my multi tonight, but we'll see. Maybe he'll come through for me. I just really felt like there's some unpredictability around tonight. An early kick here from the Bulldogs. Play 3, but they've picked out Taupiki at the back. And he returns it to the 40. All right, there we go. I got my 4 legs up for this one. That's my same game multi. Ready to roll in this one. As Wateni Zalesniak staying down, holding the chin. He loves to do this, doesn't he? He loves to do this, Mr. Soul Glow. He loves a good milk. Not to suggest it's not justified here, as there is high contact, but you would rather just see players get up and get on with it, wouldn't you? On report, and it will be a penalty here, an early one for the Warriors. And I still say that if you stay down and milk, you should automatically go off for HIA. Warriors. Fine touch, 35 out. Here they come. Taupiki shuffles it along into midfield. Lussick sends it out to the left for Clark. Fisher Harris there on the crash ball. Loses it, does he? Yes, he does. The ball spills out, and it's a mistake from Fisher Harris. They're going to captain's challenge. A minute and a half in. A minute and a half into the game. A captain's challenge here. The Bulldogs. Well, this is bold. Oh, yes, Preston has pushed the ball out. It is a successful challenge. And it needed to be, didn't it? Because, yeah, imagine if they got that one wrong. Thumbs up from the Fish. He knows he got that one right. And do they have a shot at 2 here? They are going to have a crack at 2. Now, this is one of the questions we had. Who was going to be doing the goal kicking here for the Warriors tonight? Stepping up, is it Adam Pompey? Adam Pompey to take on the kicking duties. Warriors to take an early lead. Braddy, 10. Yes, I did see how he went through the motions, took a practice kick first. CJ Dunn, ahoy, mates. The crowd boos. Pompey lines it up, looks up at the posts. Looks back down at the ball. He's right out in front. Puts it down the middle. Pompey kicks his first one from bang in front, about 30 metres back. And it's 2-0. The Warriors lead. Good start. Some ill discipline early from the home side. And the Warriors take the early lead. And DJ Shaq says, you know what's refreshing? A captain's challenge that's actually made by a captain. That is true. He was straight onto it, was the Fisher Harris. Okay, Warriors up 2-0, back in possession. 4 minutes gone in this one. Let's see. Can the Bulldogs play in the wet? $40 meters out from their own line. Jackson Ford takes tackle 4. Lussick goes left. Patel Picky up to halfway. Down the short side, Harris-Tavita gets the kick away. Taken by Kiraz at the back. Kiraz brings it out to the 20. Bulldogs looking for quick play the ball. Not getting it. Tuala tries to sneak away from a couple of tackles, and a penalty now to the Bulldogs. XJC, I'm going to be going retro tonight, playing some Dino Crisis, one of my favorite games as a youngster. Bulldogs fine touch 40 meters out from the Warriors line. Crichton from the tap. Hands it off to... Who's he got there running with him? One of his forwards. Salmon. Inside ball for Max King. King inside the 30. In midfield here on play 2. Hayward goes right. Galvin. Back in field for Kiraz. Kiraz has been taken high there by Jackson Ford. And here's an opportunity for the Dogs to level it up. Just to the right of the posts. Also about 30 meters out. And we could be starting this game with 2 penalty goals. Stephen Crichton will step up. And they'll have a crack. Tit for tat. Some early penalties. Innocent Anglerfish is backing Stephen Crichton in here to get it. Don't jinx it, says Brady. No jinx. Stephen Crichton. An opportunity here as that rain is sweeping in on an angle as well. That would be absolutely 10 times worse for whoever's running into that. Having that rain sweeping down right in your face. Stephen Crichton about 20 meters out, just to the left of the posts as we watch on from the defensive side. Moves in, strikes it well, right down the middle, and we're locked up at 2 apiece. 2 apiece. Bulldogs, Warriors. Wasted World of Sports live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on TikTok, live on Facebook, each and every weekend. Thank you so much for being with us here. 2 points all. Bulldogs, Warriors, 2 penalty goals to start this one. Warriors with the restart. It's going to land on the 10, taken in by Tuala. And he's got King running with him. Maxi King backs into the defense. 2 points apiece. Bulldogs looking for quick play, the ball speed. Out the back it goes for Burton. Burton steps off the left. Looks to get the arms over the top of the defenders and offload, but he goes to ground. And a kick now from Galvin on play 3 from inside the 40. Doesn't get the space. And Taupiki takes it on the full, puts the goose step on and slips into contact on the 30 over on that left touchline. Tuivasa-Sheck now with the hit up. Emmanuel Vincent, you used to love playing in the rain. Dive 5 meters before the line and slide over. That's the way. That's the way. We've seen that happen, haven't we, in the pro circuit as well. Brady 10, who would be your winger for your team? You have to pick one. Montoya, Tuala, or Jethro. Oh, Montoya, I suppose. If I had to choose between those three, the Bulldogs are really missing Marcelo Montoya, a former Warrior, of course, just to make the connection between these two teams, as Kiraz brings the ball back from the kick. Yeah, I think Montoya has certainly been better. He was decent at the Warriors, but I think he's gone to the next level at the Bulldogs. Penalty now to the home side. They're up too quick, the Warriors, inside the 10. And a chance to clear here. They're 25 out from their own line. And yes, racing up there was Nickel Klokstad. Galvin just pushes this into touch on the halfway line. And they can reset here, the Bulldogs, and go again. Crichton on to another one of his big boppers. Samuel Hughes it is. Oh, butt crack. We saw a bit too much of Sam Hughes there. Max King rocked back in the tackle. Does get the offload away. The Bulldogs now through Salmon, taken inside the 40. Just in from this left touchline. Now Sherry gets involved. Wow. They're a bit far out for Bronson Sherry, I would have thought. 6 again for the Bulldogs. King in midfield, spins in the 3-man tackle. He's taken the ground in front of the post, 20 metres out. Hayward, dummies right, brings it back left for Burton. Short ball for Sherry. Spins out a 1, but he's taken down 12 out. Kick out into dummy half. Back to Burton in midfield. Hayward onto Salmon. Salmon rocked in the tackle. Jackson Ford racing up out of the line, puts a big hit on. Hayward scampers out of dummy half, catches them napping, and the ball's knocked free by Aaron Clark. Beautiful defensive work there from the Warriors, and it's a knock on. Aaron Clark with the hit, knocking the ball free. Or it was Fisher Harris, sorry. Fisher Harris knocking the ball free. Well done there by the captain. Scrum down Warriors. They go left as the rain continues to hammer down. It's early days, but I'd have to say it's already been a better performance from the Bulldogs in the wet. As the Warriors get a penalty now, it's the Bulldogs offside. We've already seen a lot of penalties in this contest. The referee clamping down on the offside line. Te Maire Martin puts it into touch just short of halfway. Yes, indeed. Brady 10, we covered the game live here on the Wasted Water Sports. Roosters annihilating the Dolphins. A statement performance, perhaps, by the Roosters. As the Warriors now 40 metres out from the line on play 3. The rain intensifies just a little bit more. How do the Bulldogs respond? Clark plays it, 30 out. Back in field they go. Oh, the ball's bobbled there by Harris-Tavita. He holds on, gets the offload back on the wraparound, and now a kick through for Watene Zelezniak to chase. It bounces up for Renakama, and Renakama taken down just a metre out from his own try line. Big defence now from the Warriors, keeping the Bulldogs pinned in their own 10. Three tackles through the set. Hayward goes the crash ball there for Karaz. Is it Karaz? No, it's an offload anyway for Burton. And Burton sees some space in behind. Hammers the ever-living bollocks off the ball. And from inside his own 30, Matt Burton finds touch. 20 metres out from the Warriors line. That is the biggest kick I've ever seen in a rugby league game in my life. Burton hammers it. It sits up 10 metres out from the Warriors line. Forget about a 40-20. It was a 30-10. What a monstrous kick. Hayward taps and Hughes crashes it up right beside the posts, half a metre out. They have to take advantage of that, the Dogs. That was too big a kick to let go. From his own 30-metre line, Burton finds touch 10 out from the Warriors' try line. Salmon to Burton. Kicks early again. Looking for it to sit up for Bronson Sherry. And the Warriors take it dead. Goal line dropout incoming. Burton is steering the ship here. I mean, literally a ship in this rain, right? Oh, there's some cheerleaders in back play. Hiding up the tunnel. They don't want to be out in the rain. Warriors with the kick, the restart, sending it out on the full. It's out on the full. This will be a penalty to the Bulldogs, or at very least, it'll be their ball. Okay, referee's called it a contestable kick, has he? If it's not contestable, it's a penalty. Okay, so the call is that it was potentially contestable. It's not going to be a penalty, but the Bulldogs will have the ball. Oh, no, he has given the penalty. Okay. He has given the penalty to the Bulldogs, and Stephen Crichton will step up from right in front to make it 4-2. Surely. Bang in front. So just penalty goals to start this game. Stephen Crichton in these conditions, making sure he eats up every possible second. Puts it over, and the Bulldogs lead 4-2. Tense start to this game in the wet. Be right back. Warriors with the restart, and Max King takes the first hit up. So 22 minutes 30 left in the opening half, and it's the Bulldogs up 4-2. Penalty goals have been the story of the match so far. 2 for Stephen Crichton, 1 for Adam Pompey. Sammy Salsa says, as long as Dogs get the W, 13+. Ooh. I don't know about 13 plus, but I do have the Bulldogs winning. Offload here? No, too late. Referee says go back and play it. 30 out from their own line on play 4. 4 tackle breaks. 4 tackle breaks to 1 in favour of the Bulldogs early in this contest. 5th and last, Burton from just outside the 40 puts it down the throat of Wateni Zalesniak, who winds up, steps inside Kickow, but he's taken down by Sherry on the 20. Warriors back in possession. This has got finals feel about it, this game. As you would probably expect, 2 teams battling for the top 4. The Bulldogs battling for the minor premiership. Definitely got a finals footy feel about it. A kick from Harris-Tavita on play 4. Deflects off the Bulldogs. Preston was in an offside position there, I would have thought. But he comes away with it for the Bulldogs. I guess it was deemed not played at. So an early kick from Harris-Tavita there backfires, and the Bulldogs go on the attack. Excuse me for a second. I've just got to fix up my standing mat here. I've got one of those what do you call them? Not compression pads. But yeah, I've got one of those. It protects your feet while you're standing. As Galvin looks to grub it through, it deflects off the Warriors, and he's called 6 again. Referee has given them 6 again here. Bulldogs 15 metres out. Galvin onto Hughes. Hughes takes it to the 10. Lined up to the left here, the Dogs. They go right, though, for Galvin. Holds the pass up and gives a late ball there. They're inside the 10. Putting pressure on here. Galvin goes again. Another short ball. Samuel Hughes this time. Right in front of the post, just a couple of metres out. Salmon onto Burton. Inside ball for Sherry. Sherry angles back. Now he heads across field. Oh, poor Bailey Hayward's just been cleaned up. 5th and last for the Bulldogs now. 15 out in front of the post. They go right for Galvin. Grubbers in behind the line. It sits up for Tuivasa-Sheck to dive on it. And he's tackled in goal. Goal line dropout for the Warriors. Beautiful ball control there from Lockie Galvin. The Bulldogs have learnt to play wet weather football. How about that? We have got game on here. The Bulldogs have started to understand how to play in the wet. Warriors send the goal line drop out deep. It bounces over the halfway line, sits up for Galvin at the back. And he's got Maxi King to rumble it up. Bumps away from the first tackle. And the Bulldogs will start the set 40 out from the line. Galvin onto Hughes. Spins away from 1. Stands on the 40-metre line. Offloads to Hayward late. Gets it back to Galvin. Galvin attacks straight. And taken down inside the 30 on play 2. Bulldogs building. Crichton down the short side for Carraz, angling back in. Late offload again. And here goes Maxi King, 10 metres out. Halfway through this set, lined up to the left. Hayward to Salmon. Goes out the back for Galvin. A loose pass, sits up for Sherry. But it stalls the momentum. Bronson Sherry from a standing start. Takes it inside the 10 on play 4. They stay left. Hayward for Kickow. Kickow steps off the left, reaches out and puts it down. And wouldn't you know, I should have had him in the multi. Viliami Kickow. If you joined us for the Dolphins-Roosters game, you will know how much I contemplated putting Kickow in. Got to give myself an uppercut over that one. Viliami Kickow slides across for the first try of the night. Who was there in that last stream and specifically remembers me talking about it could be Kickow's night, but I ultimately decided against it. Give myself an uppercut. Should have had him in. Craig Howarth, my favourite thing to say to Bulldogs fans is thank you for 2014. We couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much for our 21st premiership. As one of the Warriors is leaving the field, looking in a bad way. Oh, it's Te Maire Martin. Oh, no. Te Maire Martin is off the field for a HIA. The Warriors. No Luke Metcalf, no Tanner Boyd. And now Te Maire Martin leaving the field for a HIA. They are down to scraps in the halfback role. This could be terrible news for the Warriors. They've lost Metcalf for the season. No Tanner Boyd tonight, and Te Maire Martin leaving the field for a HIA. They have got slim pickings now at halfback. As Stephen Crichton lines this one up from out wide. Talking himself through it. What a haircut. Jesus Christ. Crichton moves in. Pushes it away to the right. Hooks it across the face of the post. And it remains 8 points to 0. What a start to this contest. My takeaway from the early goings here is that the Bulldogs have certainly been practicing. I had the feeling that they would have surely been practicing wet weather conditions. Transpires that they actually have been. As the ball falls off the tee from the restart. Bulldogs brought their floaties, budgie smugglers, and inflatable pool unicorns to the wet weather rugby. Tuala takes the kick off and with nobody to pass to, decides to take the hit up himself. King just short of the 30-meter line. Oh, now that there's been a try scorer, we can switch our screens up here. And jump over to this one. An early kick again here from the Bulldogs on tackle 3, finding space in behind. And it sits up for Taupiki, who's crushed in the tackle by Stephen Crichton, flying through 10 meters out from their own line here. The Warriors, the Bulldogs playing very, very smart so far. Bala says, go Bulldogs. Craig Howarth says, I have family and close friends that are Bulldogs fans. And they're the ones you love saying it to. Absolutely fair enough, Craig. Warriors bringing it outside their own 30 now. Clark takes the 5th and last. Harris-Tavita from inside the 40, puts it down the middle. It's going to sit up nicely at the back for Carraz. And here come the Bulldogs now, back to their own 40, almost. 8 points to 2. The Bulldogs. The ball has slipped out here from Carraz, and it's called a knock on. Well, they can challenge it if they want, the Bulldogs. Where's the captain? Stephen Crichton, where are you? Oh, no, that's just a loose carry. I wouldn't challenge that one. I wouldn't be wasting my time challenging that. Te Maire Martin ruled out Category 1 HIA. There we go. It's official. Te Maire Martin done for the night. And the poor Warriors. No Metcalf, no Boyd. Now, no Te Maire Martin. Who's going to fill in there at halfback? As the Warriors stay down now. Halasima's down looking for the penalty. This is an interesting area of the game. Well, that's just head-on-head contact. He's copped Galvin's chin to the face. Semi Salsa says if the Dogs score next, useless Warriors will quit and lose by 30. Well, I don't know about that. Zakor Kadir, ahoy, mate. Is Penrith Panthers going to win the 2025 grand final to make it 5 years in a row? Oh, look, they'll be in it. I said at the end of last year, it'll be Storm Panthers grand final again with the Storm winning. Injuries aside, I still don't see anything that suggests otherwise. I stand by that call I made at the end of last year that this year will once again be Storm Panthers with the results flipping. I stand by it. I've seen nothing to suggest otherwise. As Halasima now leaving the field, he'll be off for a HIA and to get himself stitched up. And Tanner Stowers-Smith is on for the Warriors. Oh, it's going to be tough for the Warriors. The Bulldogs have seemingly learned how to play in the wet, and the Warriors' injuries and HIAs, and they're just getting decimated at the moment. Late offload is loose. Harris-Tavita scoops it up. Taken from behind by Hayward. Preston in there to help out as well. Here's Stowers-Smith. Takes it inside the 20 on play 4. 2 tackles left here. The Warriors, they go short side. Harris-Tavita goes back into the midfield for Taupiki. 5th and last. 20 outs. Harris-Tavita chips it in over the top. It's going to land on the 10-metre line. Batted back by Tuivasa-Sheck. Beware the second kick. Capewell grabs it through, but the Bulldogs diffuse it a metre out from their own line. Zach the Goat. The Roosters beat the Dolphins something ridiculous, like 64 points to 6. I think it was in the end. 64-6. Oh, 64-12. 64-12. The Dolphins got a consolation at the end. Burton again kicks early, finding space, and it sits up on the 10-metre line for Tuivasa-Sheck. Now returns it out of the red zone. Warriors back in possession, but Burton is using his kicking game tonight very effectively. Watene Zelezniak up to the 30. Nickel Klokstad up the middle. Just one out stuff for the Warriors at the moment as they try and wrestle themselves back into this contest and get some momentum. Niokore plays it just outside the 40. 5th and last now. Harris-Tavita plugs it in over the top. Bounces up kindly for Kiraz at the back. And Jacob Kiraz returns it for the Bulldogs. 8 points to 2 they lead. 11.5 to go in this opening 40. Galvin onto Tuwala. Slips into contact. Hayward to Kiraz. Kiraz brings it outside the 40. Salmon up to halfway on the 5th and last. Where's Burton for the kick? Controlling. Oh, they go the opposite side here. They go for Galvin to put it high. Galvin with the kick. Tuivasa-Sheck bobbles it, but takes it as he's down on his knees. Offloads for Taupiki, who's driven back. Warriors will once again start the set just outside their own 10. Janine Griffin, ahoy there. Go Bulldogs, says Janine. Bulldogs leading 8 points to 2 here. And we've got a dropped ball from Watene Zelezniak. It's the Warriors who have forgotten to play in the wet. Watene Zelezniak just trying to play the ball too quickly there. Plants it down and then spills it. Bulldogs with a full set of 6 now in the red zone. Scrum down. 20 metres out. They break right for Stephen Crichton. Crichton from a standing start. Will just take tackle 1 there. Jackson Ford has him wrapped up. Crichton staying down. Oh, Stephen Crichton staying down. He's hurt his leg. Stephen Crichton has immediately clutched at his ankle here. He gets up to try and play it. It's hard to see anything that's really happened there. But Stephen Crichton very slow to get. He's still down, Crichton, clutching at that ankle. As we've got time off here. The trainer out there giving it a good squeeze. Ciraldo's on the blower to send a message down. What are we going to do in the event that he goes off? He's up and about now, Crichton. Difficult conditions to play in, of course, in the mud pits. Very easy to do an ankle. Tackle 2 now for the Bulldogs. Staying on the short side. Crichton, that ankle is fine, but the pass wasn't. Out the back. Warriors, though, spill it forward, and it's 6 again. 6 more now for the Bulldogs. Hayward gets up and plays it. They've lost 10 metres, but they've got a full set of 6 back. Curran spins out a 1 tackle. Takes it to the 20 in midfield. Slow play the ball. Hayward sends it left. Kurt Mann onto Kickow. Kickow stands in the tackle. Now they put him on his back. He gets up, though, and plays it quickly. Looks to. Burton in a dummy half. Sends it into Hayward in midfield. Here's Galvin. Out the back for Mann. Mann steps off the right, but straight into the hit of Jackson Ford. Play 3. 10 metres out. Down the short side for Galvin. Runs it to the line. Out the back for Crichton. Tapped on from Kiraz to Tuala, who can't step back in field. Surrenders in the tackle. Just in from that far touchline. 2 left for the Bulldogs. Galvin to Hayward. Mann goes to Burton as they shift left. Sherry gets a 2-on-1. Gives it to Rinakama. Rinakama dives from 5 metres out and slides across the line. Where have I heard that before? I heard it in the chat room earlier. Somebody's favourite wet weather footy sliding from 5 metres out. Rinakama. Bulldogs are up 12-2 with the kick to come. Scoring out wide on that left wing. The Bulldogs have learnt wet weather football. Amazing what can change in 1 week. This game a long way from over, of course, but I just had that feeling. I had that feeling that surely it's a known weakness. You work on it. You don't just turn a blind eye to it. If it's a known weakness, you work on it, and you work on it until you get it right. And the Bulldogs maybe, just maybe, have got it right. Stephen Crichton from the sideline. 12 points to 2, the Bulldogs up. As the rain continues to hammer down. Crichton looks up at the post, back down at the ball, moves in. From bang on the sideline, he strikes this one much better, and it just shaves inside the near upright. 14 points to 2, the Bulldogs lead. John Michael says Jacob Fatu on for Crichton, second half. I was thinking about it. We should do like a cross-promotional thing with our fortnightly wrestling podcast. We should pick a pro wrestling starting 13 for rugby league and a starting 15 for rugby union. That could be a little bit of fun. 14 points to 2. Bulldogs up early in this one. Well, not early anymore. 6 minutes to go until the halftime break. Now pushing the pass out the back. Bulldogs lucky to get away with that one. Big defense here from Stowers Smith. Keeping the Doggies pinned inside their own 20. Hayward fires it out to Mann. Mann steps off the left, but straight into the contact of some big Warriors forwards. Another early kick here from Burton. Trapped at the back by Taupiki. And this is good field position now for the Warriors. Titus Kuno says Bulldogs go for 13 plus, and I'll be there for 5 accumulated tips. Wateni Zalesniak up to halfway. Takes tackle 3. Short side they go for Pompey. Taking the ground just inside Bulldogs territory. 2 tackles left. Clark at first receiver. Dummies left. Straightens. Takes the line on. Rooster Schulz go the doggies all the way from New Ireland, PNG. Down the short side. Warriors get the kick away. Kiraz takes it 10 out from his own line. Great take in the conditions. Bulldogs back in possession. Controlling the flow of this game off the back of Burton's kicking boot. I mean, I think that's fair to say that's been the difference in this game so far, is Matt Burton's boot. Just turning the Warriors around, kicking early, turning them around, and keeping them pinned down there. Play 4, the Dogs just outside their own 20. Man goes to Burton. Through the hands, they shift this time. Kick out. Offloads back for Burton. Infield. Burton has to surrender in the tackle there as he ran behind Kurt Mann. And now a tackle off the ball. Penalty to the Bulldogs. A shoulder into the back of Kurt Mann. And there's a captain's challenge incoming from the Warriors. Tackle without the ball is the ruling. Well, have the Bulldogs challenged this? They got the call. They haven't challenged it, have they? Capewell, tackle off the ball, bumps him into Stowers Smith. Challenge by the Warriors is unsuccessful. Well, they've just wasted a challenge there, the Warriors. The penalty has gone to the Bulldogs for a tackle off the ball. They've challenged it. They've now lost their challenge. Burton finds touch on halfway. And the Warriors, they've just not been in it here this first half. Can you imagine if the Warriors do indeed ultimately go on to lose this game? There's plenty of time left in this. Don't you worry, Warriors supporters. I am not writing off your team. I am simply saying, can you imagine if it remains as it is and the Bulldogs go on and win this game, the Panthers will officially be in the top 4. And I mean planted in the top 4. Galvin chips over the top, looking for Kiraz. It bounces away from the Warriors. Tuivasa Shek reaches out in desperation and bats it over the dead ball line. Oh, the Bulldogs are playing so well here. The Bulldogs are just controlling the territory. And as such, controlling this game. Taupiki with the goal line dropout. Taken on the 30 by Crichton. Crichton wants a runner, and he gets one. Harry Hayes. $25 out from the line. Here's Kurt Mann. Brings it inside the red zone. 15 away in midfield. The Dogs, 2 minutes 40 until halftime. Curran at first receiver. Steps off the left. Steps off the right. Beats the first tackle. He's just a meter short now, Curran. Hayward goes short side. Crash ball for Kickow. Don't tell me Kickow's going to get a double. He's over the line and they've turned him on his back and back into the field of play. Slow play the ball. This one, his body's entangled up everywhere. Time on. Kick out. Plays it. Hayward sends it out to Mann. Mann slips. Gets up and goes again. Gives it to Galvin. Galvin with the double pump out to Crichton, who steps back in field. And takes tackle 5 now. 12 out just to the right of the post. Crichton. to play the ball. Set, restart. Oh, that's a coach killer. 6 more. Kick out on the crash ball. Half a metre out on play 1 now. Should have been the last tackle in the handover. And it's another 6 again. The Warriors are destroying themselves here. Man goes out the back for Galvin. Galvin onto Crichton. Cut out pass for Tuala. Tuala dives for the corner and scores. Wow, first tick off the multi. Anari Tuala scores out wide on that right edge, and we get our first tick off the multi. And the Bulldogs lead 18 points to 2, destroying the Warriors here in the wet. The big question mark over this game was going to be, have the Bulldogs learnt how to play wet weather football? The answer is quite simply, yes, they have done some practice. Well on top here, the Doggies. 18 points to 2 with the kick to come. And with 30 seconds to go until half time, you would think that this kick will be the last play of the half. Anari Tuala with the tick off the multi and the try for the Dogs. A big halftime talk incoming for the Warriors. I mean, they've been decimated, haven't they, the Warriors? No halfback, basically. Luke Metcalf, of course, got ruled out for the season. Tanner Boyd not there this week. And Te Maire Martin off for a HIA. Fred Brown, ahoy, mate. Let's go Bulldogs up the Panthers. The Panthers will be cheering on the Bulldogs in this one, no doubt, because 4th spot on the ladder will be theirs if the Warriors lose this. Stephen Crichton is over on his favourite side now on that right touchline to make it 20 points to 2 in difficult kicking conditions. He moves in, he strikes, it's heading towards the post, it's over. And the Bulldogs at halftime lead 20 points to 2. A near perfect half of wet weather football. Near perfect 40 minutes there from the Bulldogs. And deserving 20 points to 2 leaders at the halftime break. What a turn of events. Absolute scenes here. All right. Waste to Water Sports, quick break. And we'll be back right after this to try and sum up what we just saw. Well, I know what I saw. Be right back. Edward, ahoy, mates. Whoops. Good Lord. Forgot what I was pouring. Forgot what I was doing there for a second. 20 points to 2 at halftime here. The Bulldogs over the Warriors. A near perfect display in that opening 40 off the back of Matt Burton's kicking and, of course, Lachlan Galvin as well. Credit there to Lachlan Galvin. But, Matt Burton, I don't think I've ever seen it happen before, but Matt Burton put an absolute monster of a kick in. It wasn't just a 40-20. He kicked it from his own 30, from inside his own 30, and it went into touch 10 meters out from the Warriors' line. A 30-10. And Matt Burton has been kicking early, catching the Warriors napping at the back and finding space, turning them around. And that's been the difference maker in the game tonight. And they've kept it simple, the Bulldogs. They've kept it simple, wet weather football, one-out stuff, late offloads, second phase play, keeping it in tight. It was the question mark coming into this one. Have the Bulldogs learnt to play in the wet? Yes, they have. And then some. They've been near perfect. Wayne Stretch, ahoy, mate. 1.5 from the Dogs. George Alarm, ahoy, mate. Doing very well. Of course, the Warriors, talking points for them. Te Maire Martin off with a HIA. Te Maire Martin already filling in at halfback. We know the Warriors, of course, lost Luke Metcalf for the season. There's no Tanner Boyd tonight, so Te Maire Martin, the starting halfback, off the field with a HIA. So they're working off scraps there in the halves. It's always difficult to win games of footy or stay in games of footy when you've got no leadership in attack. And that's where they find themselves at the moment, the Warriors. They haven't had a whole lot of opportunities to attack, though, in fairness. So, as I said, the kicking game of Burton has been making sure that the Warriors stay absolutely pegged down in their own territory. We got a tick off the same game multi there, right on the stroke of halftime, so that's always nice. It's not been a good weekend so far for the multis, but who knows? There's still games to go throughout the course of this weekend. Okay, 20 points to 2 at the halftime break. I've got to have myself a proper break, and we'll be back for the second half action. I've got to get myself set up because it is the return of my gaming channel tonight. So I've got to get that set up in the halftime break here as best I can. So we'll jump off and we'll be back for the second half. I'll put a little bit of a clock on. It'll only be a couple of minutes. I just got to... Oh, no, the teams are coming out now for the second half. Yep, they're leaving the sheds. Okay, never mind. I didn't get a chance to do it. It's all good. I'll just try and get something quickly happening here. Okay. I'll try and do two things at once. But you know, I'm a bloke. We're not good at that, right? Well, that's the stereotype anyway. That's what they claim. Okay, I don't need that. I need... Okay. All right, that's a good one. I like that title. Let's go with that title. Okay, yes. I'm just setting this up as we go along at the halftime break. What about the Roosters in the game before? Hey, who was around for that? The Roosters over the Dolphins, 64 points to 12. We haven't really seen any close contests so far this weekend. That's what I find crazy. It's been one-way traffic for the most part, and this game is set up to be just that way as well. So we're still waiting for a good, close, hard-fought contest. Hopefully the second half can bring some... Oh, here's a look at the live ladder. So Raiders on top, Storm second, Panthers. Should the Warriors go on to lose, the Panthers will be firmly in fourth place. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, I always knew that the Panthers would finish inside the top 8. I mean, I just knew that they would. But they're going to end up well in the top 8, aren't they? I mean, they are just secure now. Big game, of course. Big game against the Storm. Okay. They lied to me about coming back out on the field too. They still haven't come back out yet. All right. So, yes, I do apologize. I am sort of multitasking at the moment. Okay. Fabulous. Emmanuel Vincent says this ain't looking good for the Waz. Pretty wild, isn't it? I thought that it's crazy to think the closest game this weekend has been Dragons versus the Sharks. I definitely did not have that one inked down as the closest game of the crazy stuff. So for those interested, I am restarting my gaming channel tonight after the footy. I'll have a little bit of a half-hour break or something, give myself a chance to eat. That'll be live on YouTube. Intoxigamer I'm still active on Twitch as well. As far as I'm aware, they haven't taken my Twitch channel down. So for those of you on Twitch that might like to keep hanging out after the game, after the footy tonight and do some gaming, Intoxigamer AU, I think it is on Twitch, though. Slightly different. You'll be able to figure it out, though. You'll recognize me. I'm sure my face is plastered all over it. So, yes, I am in the process of setting that up. We're going to go retro tonight. Going to play some Dino Crisis, one of my favorite games when I was a kid. Let's see if it still holds up in 2025. The old tank controls. Does anyone remember the old tank controls on survival horror games from back in the day? That'll be interesting. So yeah, looking forward to that. Just decided this weekend that I would relaunch it. Kel Mills says Warriors are still 5th on the ladder considering the endless injuries. Sorry if that upsets you haters. Let's go. Not over yet. And that's the thing. The Warriors got off to such a good start to the season. They can afford a little bit of downtime at the back end here and still well and truly make it through. So if they've got some troops returning, they'll be right again come finals time. It's definitely not all doom and gloom for the Warriors. And even here tonight, it's not like it's an impossible fight back. 3 converted tries. They would want to be the first team to score in the second half, though. Reed Nichols, ahoy, mate. They would absolutely... what? Files bigger than 2 megabytes? How is it bigger than 2 megabytes? Chaos. Chaos abounds here. Okay, it is slightly bigger than 2 meg. All right, I'll make it a JPEG. That'll fix that. JPEG file. Axel, ahoy, mate. Up the Knights. Wow. I think, personally, and this might be harsh, but I think the Knights need to move on Adam O'Brien before they start going up and up again. I think they probably should have moved him on a couple of years ago. But the Knights went on that huge run at the back end of the season and they snuck themselves into the top 8, and it saved Adam O'Brien's job. Second half is off and running in this one. The Bulldogs get us underway. Warriors with Tuivasa-Sheck. Yeah, I just think that late run that they went on a couple of seasons ago, I'm pretty sure we know the one that I'm talking about. The Knights season looked down and out, that looked over. And they went on a run, undefeated streak to sneak into the finals. I think it papered over some cracks, and the cracks have now turned into craters. Penalty now to the Warriors. Off the first set of 6. A try here would make things very, very interesting indeed. As they find touch right on halfway. Ready to launch an attack. Harris-Tavita taps and goes. They're 40 out from the line. This would be huge for the game if they score first and score here. They really would. Jackson Ford carries it to the 30. Quick play the ball. 25 out from the line now. Back into midfield they go. Through the hands left. Talpicki out the back. Steps off the left boot. And he's into the red zone. Here they come, the Warriors. Back into midfield. Harris-Tavita onto Stowers-Smith. Taken down 10 metres out now on the 5th and last. Right in front of the post. They go left. Out the back for Harris-Tavita. The kick is charged down by Bailey Hayward. And Hayward scoops it up. Needs a support runner. Batted back by the Warriors, and they've stolen it. Jackson Ford has done extremely well there. Bailey Hayward just needed to surrender in the tackle. And a penalty now to the Warriors for high contact. Ads, ahoy, mate. Harris-Tavita puts this into touch. And the Warriors can reload here and go again inside the 30. Jackson Ford driven back in the tackle. If they score a try here, the Warriors, they can thank Jackson Ford for it. That effort to get back and get the intercept when it looked like the Bulldogs were going to break out. Harris-Tavita to Taupiki. Inside ball. Near Corre. Angles back in towards the posts. 2 meters out here. Play 3. Vaimauga offloads to Stowers Smith. Just to the left of the post now on play 4. Warriors building nicely. Harris-Tavita grubbers in behind the line. Dives on the loose ball. Galvin's come up with it. Galvin has it for the Dogs. A meter out. Scooped up by Crichton. Risky in these conditions to do a one-handed scoop up from dummy half. I wouldn't be happy with him if I were the coach. I've got to be honest. Bulldogs just trying to slow things down now. A kick on tackle 4. Galvin picks out the man at the back, though, Tuivasa-Sheck, who winds up now and brings it back to the 40. Good field position here for the Warriors. The 5-meter slide, innocent anglerfish. Yes, we have seen one of those already tonight. Set restart now for the Warriors. Tensions now starting to flare up. We saw that in the last game. A little bit of shirt grabbing and push and shove in midfield. Nothing too much in it. Smith takes this one up to halfway. 3 tackles gone here for the Warriors. Harris-Tavita with Jackson Ford running off the hip. Quick play of the ball. Cut out pass here for Stowers Smith, who goes again. Carries it inside the 30. 5th and last. They go short side for Harris-Tavita. Puts this one high. Contestable kick. Oh, Carraz gets up, loses it backwards. Kick out, dives on the loose ball. And it's called a knock on against the Bulldogs. Well, the Warriors have started the second half with a lot of possession and a lot of territory here. Five minutes gone in the second half. First try would make it very interesting. Jackson Ford on the crash ball. Gets the legs pumping. And time off. He's got to go back to the mark and play it properly. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Innocent anglerfish. Stowers Smith. Another strong carry here, just to the right of the post. Back into midfield. Harris-Tavita at the back for Taupiki. Wrapped up half a meter out from the line. Over on this left edge, halfway through the set. Harris-Tavita back in midfield. Vaimauga, loose pass out the back. Nickel Clockstack dives on it. And they have secured possession. Very scrappy, though, from the Warriors. Vaimauga again. Oh, he's run straight over the top of Harry Hayes. But the Dogs' defense holds firm for now. 10 meters out, 5th and last. Crossfield kick from Harris-Tavita. Contestable. Stephen Crichton plucks it out of the air. Saving the day there for the Bulldogs. What a take. Unbelievable stuff there, Stephen Crichton. $20 points to 2 it remains. The Warriors, well, that was a big opportunity for them. And they weren't able to come away with any points. Slow play the ball from kick out. Kiraz now. Up to halfway for Galvin to kick. Sends it deep. Tuivasa-Sheck spills it. He's dropped his lollies. Roger, no. Lachie Galvin with the high ball in the wet. And Tuivasa-Sheck with the mistake. Scrum will go down here. Bulldogs ball. Kell says Roger just minced it. Oh, and oh my God, if looks could kill. If looks could kill, Andrew Webster is sniping from the coach's box. Not a happy camper. Sherry takes the tackle, 10 metres out. 8 gone in the second half. Bulldogs up 20 points to 2. Hayward on to Galvin. Hayes in midfield. Double H, Harry Hayes. 6 more for the Bulldogs. Hayward goes left for Burton. Inside ball for Kickow, angling back in field. Galvin, dummies. Takes it to the line. 5 metres out. Out the back it goes now for Mann. On to Crichton. Crichton looks to grubber him behind the line. The Warriors trap it with their boots and dived on by Capewell. Knocked on is the call. Knock on against Capewell. Oh, and Aaron Clark there has copped an elbow to the face. Friendly fire from Harris-Tavita. Scrum down now, 10 metres out in midfield. Bulldogs with the feed. You would think that a try here would put the game to bed. Crichton, Stephen Crichton from the scrum. Big leg drive. Puts the fend on, reaches out and scores. Stephen Crichton plants it down. Off the back of the scrum, he shows it twice, decides to take the line on. A weak attempted tackle there from the Warriors. 24 points to 2. Try confirmed. It's one-way traffic. And Stephen Crichton now seems to have hurt his arm. He's in bad shape out there tonight, Critter. But he got the try. $24 points to 2. The kick to come from out wide. 10 minutes gone in the second half. You would think that that's enough now for the Bulldogs. Burton lines this one up. 24 points to 2. Kick from the sideline. Burton taking over the kicking duties from Crichton. Puts this one on target, but it's hooking, hits the upright and bounces away. He started it off nicely, but it hits the post and bounces away. 24 points to 2. It stays. Nichols, ahoy, mate. Yes, there are more games on tomorrow. 24 points to 2 in this one. The Warriors have got to get desperate now if they want to get some consolation points in this one. Tomorrow's games, Titans, Rabbitohs, in what is potentially the Spoon Bowl. And Eels versus the Cowboys. 25 out from their own line here. The Bulldogs. Galvin onto man. Dummies and steps off the left. He's taken down. Still inside their own half here, the Dogs. Kiraz takes the hit up. 5th and last. Burton with another monster boot from inside the 40. It's been the difference maker tonight. Witeni Zelezniak takes it and winds up. Brings it back just short of the 30-meter line. But that has been the clear difference between the two teams tonight. The kicking game of Matt Burton has been immense. Tuivasa-Sheck in midfield. Bends the line. Taken down on the 40. Down the short side. Catching some lazy markers. Samuel Healy up over halfway. That was a good run. Stower Smith now with a lot of momentum. 5th and last for the Warriors. Harris-Tavita puts it high for the corner. Tuivasa-Sheck chases through, bats it back. Capewell gets the second kick away, but it's all Bulldogs jerseys. Nobody was charging up there from the Warriors, but they do get a penalty. An escort. Jackson Ford has been taken out, chasing through. And a penalty to the Warriors. Yeah, well, I mean, that's fair enough. It was a it was a particularly harsh one, but it was also fair enough. I don't think you could argue either way. If that one was let go, you wouldn't complain. The fact that it got called, you wouldn't complain. Healy onto Ford. Ford on the crash ball. 5 meters out now, just to the right of the posts on play 2. Warriors, can they get points? They get another penalty here. Healy taps and goes. Here's Fisher Harris. Got a lead from the front here. Game of Mel, no, I ended up sticking with the Bulldogs, thankfully. Vaimauga, a meter out in front of the post, staying down to milk. Oh, you know what? Honestly, I mean, it's such a tough one. The Warriors, I know that they're not the only team that does this, of course, and I'm not saying that. But boy, they stay down a lot. And look, if the penalty is meant to be given, I think that's on the officials more than the players. But, I mean, you don't like to. They do it more than any other team, the Warriors. And it's the right call. He was copped. They have copped a high one here. But still, you don't like to see it. Going to be play on here. Healy goes to the right for Harris-Tavita. Drops it back inside. And it's well read by the Bulldogs' defense. Accor driven backwards. Fisher Harris straight up the middle. 10 meters out now on play 4. Healy. Grubbers in behind the line. Gets a second toe to it. Oh, Samuel Healy. Has he grounded it for the Warriors? It's going up as a try. Samuel Healy has just sparked the Warriors to life here. There's still 25 and a half minutes to go. 24-6 with the kick to come. And Samuel Healy with his running game from dummy half. His running game from dummy half has injected some life into this Warriors attack. As he grubbers through, rebounds off Preston. He gets the second toe through on it, and he wins the race to the ball. Beautiful work there from Samuel Healy. Try Warriors. (24-6) with the kick to come. Try has been confirmed. Adam Pompey lines up the conversion here. 24 points to 8. This would make it with 24 minutes left to go. You're back, Pompey in here. Moves in. Strikes it well. Pompey guides it over. 24 points to 8. Well, I mean, Warriors supporters, do you dare to dream? Do you dare to believe in miracles? Because it would be almost miracle material here. Bulldogs get us back underway. Samuel Healy has brought some life to this attack. 24-8, still with 23 minutes to go. I mean, there's time. Penalty now to the Bulldogs. Well, what's happened here? The penalty has gone to the defensive team. Penalty to the defensive team. You don't see that very often. Fisher Harris puts a shove on Stephen Crichton. That's not what the penalty's for, is it? Well, that's pretty soft. And they're going to have a shot at 2 here, the Bulldogs. Stephen Crichton just slowing the game down. Have a crack at 2. 26 points to 8, it would make it. Yeah, that was interesting, that one. Lining this one up from 20 out, about 15 in from touch. In the conditions, it's certainly not a given, but you would expect him to make it. Ah! Stephen Crichton should get a nice curl back on this one. Favoured side for a left-footed kicker. Curls it back through, right down the middle. 26 points to 8, so the Warriors have just given up 2 points. (26 points to 8). Going into the final quarter of this game. And that was rather silly. It does make it 3 converted tries. 3 converted tries to tie it. Warriors send the kickoff deep. Tuala's under it. And he's got Harry Hayes running with him. (21 minutes to go. And that was, unfortunately, pretty dumb from the Warriors. They were just starting to get themselves on top momentum-wise. Obviously, still a long way behind on the scoreboard, but they were just starting to wrestle clear momentum back. And that was a little silly. And now another kick on play 3. Burton can't find space in behind. It's well taken by Taupiki at the back, who's picked up and dumped in the tackle by Hayward and Sherry. And again, it's that early kicking game of Burton. Early, long kicks. It really has been the difference maker. Burton's kicks, controlling territory. Tuivasa-Sheck now in midfield. Stands in the tackle and is driven backwards. DJ Skinny, ahoy mate. Up to us. As Halasima's back on the field. I needed him for any time try scorer tonight. Clark up over halfway. 5th and last. Front football here for the Warriors. It's on out to the left if they decide to run it, but they don't. Harris-Tavita puts the kick up. And it's taken at the back by Kiraz. Kelsey, ahoy there. "20 metres out from their own line, the Bulldogs play the ball. Rinakama hits a brick wall of Warriors defence. And in midfield, 25 out. Crichton carries up to the 30. Look for an early kick again from Burton. Perhaps no, it doesn't matter. It's a penalty to the Bulldogs. Holding down in the tackle. And ill discipline is doing the Warriors in here. $26 points to 8. A long way back, but still time. And they're giving away simple ruck penalties like that. The Bulldogs find touch 40 metres out from the try line. They can go straight back on the attack. Or at least onto the attack. No, the penalty was too far out. Innocent anglerfish. Stephen Crichton would have had to kick it about 80 metres on the fly. Oh, we've got a player down in back play. Is that Capewell? Kurt Capewell down in back play. This will be his night done, you would expect. HIA incoming. He's had a clash here with Jacob Preston's hip. Capewell, 2 front on in the tackle, down too low, gets bumped off, and that's his night. So the Warriors lose another player, another HIA. He's going back to position, but he'll be called off by the independent doctor if he doesn't go off voluntarily, because that was a particularly nasty one. Stowers Smith coming back on. He's only just left the field. And Kurt Capewell is indeed being escorted off the field. Another one down for the Warriors. Harry Hayes in midfield for the Bulldogs. Full set of 6 here. Tackle 2, 20 metres out. 19 minutes to play. 26-8 they lead. Looking for more. Kurt Mann on to Galvin. Angling back in his kick out. Good strong carry. 15 out from the line. Hayward looks short side, but they bring it back open for Mann. Loose pass out the back. Sits up nicely for Carraz. Quick hands for Tuala. Tuala heads for the corner. Steps back in field. Rolls over the try line, but they've held him up over the line. Scrambling defense from the Warriors. And Tuala will go back and play it. Still tackles up the sleeve for the Dogs. Galvin in midfield. Onto Mann. Mann takes tackle 5, 10 metres out in front of the post. Options left and right. Hayward sends it right for Galvin. Galvin, Grubbers in behind. Deflects off the Warriors. Lost forward by the Bulldogs. And that'll be a handover. 10 metres out. Well, he's going to call a scrum. A scrum down. Warriors feed. Oh, because the set restarted, so it wasn't on the last tackle. That's why. Played up by the Warriors, touched by the Bulldogs, which restarted the tackle count. Hence why it's not a handover on the last, because it's not the last. Simple. Warriors scrum feed. They win the ball, as you would expect. 10 metres out from their own line. Capewell, Category 2, HIA. I dare say that that's probably his night, though. Edward says Warriors will score 20 unanswered points. Mark my words, 20 points in 17 minutes. Bring it on, because I reckon that would be exciting to witness. Slow going at the moment, though, for the Warriors. Inside their own 40. Play 4. Fisher Harris trying to lead from the front. Fifth and last. Back to Harris-Tavita. Puts the high ball up down the middle. Kiraz comes forward for it. Takes it on the full. Craig Howard says, I'm a Souths fan. Let's talk about the whole team being injured. Oh, tell me about it, right? Tell me about it. We've done this a couple of times, and I think you've been here for it at least once, Craig. We have run through the injury list for the Rabbitohs at the moment, and have basically said, can you imagine if Big Mal had all these players available to sign for the Bears? They would have a very competitive first team to run out there when they start. Oh, yeah. Nobody can talk about injuries until they've had a chat with Wayne Bennett and the Bunnies, that's for sure. Warriors back in possession here inside their own 10. Tuivasa-Sheck with 16 minutes to play, 26 points to 8. You would think that it's pretty much beyond anybody at this point, except for maybe the Panthers. Witeni Zalesniak rocked down in the tackle by Burton. And Reed Marnie, who's on the field now as well. Ah, that's right. Yes, I knew you were there for at least one of them, Craig. Yes, indeed. You did say Mal can't have them. And fair enough. They're really going to struggle to... I mean, this is a conversation for another time as Taupiki gets this kick in over the top into space, but it sits up for Kiraz. And Kiraz brings it outside the 40 where he's held up and put down by the Warriors. This is a topic of conversation for another time, of course. But yeah, the Bears are really going to struggle to field a competitive team or any team at all. It's going to be made up mostly of New South Wales Cup juniors. I really, really fear for the Bears. It's been rushed is what it's been rushed, and they haven't been given the same luxuries that the Dolphins were given in terms of recruitment. I think it's really going to be a struggle for the Bears in year one. They're not going to have any marquee signings, not a single one. And what I mean by marquee signings is, I mean like superstar, like Cameron Munster level players. Nickel Clockstat intercepts it here for the Warriors, and they're back in possession. With 14 minutes left to play, 26 points to 8. It's been domination by the Dogs. Who'd have thought that in 7 days they've learned how to play wet weather footy, the Doggies. Pompey takes it up to halfway. Slow play the ball. Dower Smith loses it out the back. Knock on Warriors. And the Bulldogs with some monstrous defense in midfield, forcing the mistake. And they'll start their set of 6 from halfway. $26 points to 8. And a really, really disappointing performance from the Warriors. Injuries aside, HIAs aside, it's been a disappointing effort that they've thrown up. As the Bulldogs now up over halfway. Not as disappointing as my same-game multi, though. My same-game multi, very disappointing here in this one. Especially when I could have had Kikau. I could have had Kikau over Preston. For those who were here for the Dolphins-Roosters game, you heard me have that debate. Preston or Kikau? I started leaning towards Kikau. I ultimately went for Preston. 6 more now for the Bulldogs. 30 out from the line. Hayward in at first receiver. On to Hayes. Hayes turns into contact. They put him down on his back. Slow play the ball. Hayward to Galvin. Quick hands on to Kickow. Kickow puts a goose step on, and he's tackled 15 out from the line. King on to Hayward. Out the back it goes now for Galvin. Cut out pass for Carraz. Hands it on to Tuala. Tuala angles back in. Some weak Warriors defense. And Unari Tuala gets a second. $30 with the kick to come. Tuala gets a double. Lined up to the right here, the Bulldogs. Galvin with a beautiful late cutout pass to Carraz. Carraz with quick hands. And Tuala angling back in at 45 degrees, catching the weak shoulder of Harris-Tavita. And Chanel Harris-Tavita, poor fella, had no chance there in cover defense. $30 with the kick to come. Game ML, your multis are going good. Oh, you're being... Yeah, okay, I understand. You're being sarcastic. 3 bets on and a whopping 0 ticks. Oh, well, I don't feel so bad then, because at least I've got 1 tick. Cheers to that, Game ML. $30 the kick to come. The Bulldogs. They're back, the Doggies. Stephen Crichton. Again from out wide. Ten meters in from touch on the favourite side. Puts it down the middle. 32-8. Boy, this has been big in the end. Big result in the end here. The Bulldogs have learnt wet weather footy. Still 10 minutes to go. So we're still a chance for some ticks off the multi as the Warriors go short with the restart. Tuivasa-Sheck bats it back for Harris-Tavita, but it's called a knock on. Tuivasa-Sheck can't believe it. I've got to say, I can't quite believe it either. Roger was facing his own goal line. Let's have a look at this on the replay. Well, Roger's facing his own goal line. That's surely knocked back. That is surely knocked back. Anyway, it's been called a knock on. Bulldogs get the feed. And they go short side for Renakama. Looks for the late offload, but he's wrapped up there by the Warriors. Slow play the ball. Sherry crunched in the tackle there. Aaron Clark, I think it was, and Fisher Harris in tandem. A monstrous hit. Hughes up to halfway. Halfway through the set now as well. King takes it into Warriors territory. Keeping it tight in midfield here. Salmon out the back to Burton, who chips over the top on play 4. In behind Wateni Zalesniak, who tracks back for it and watches it dribble over the sideline. Into touch for a Warriors handover. 9 minutes left to play, 32-8. Warriors to start the set on their own 10-meter line. Got a long way to go upfield for this one. If they want to get some consolation points. Donald, ahoy, mates. Donald says, go Dogs. Fire. It really has been near perfect wet weather football for the Bulldogs. It's amazing. They looked absolutely insipid in the wet. all the way up until tonight. They've finally learnt how to play wet weather footy. And Fisher Harris now spills it. It's scooped up by Salmon. Bulldogs, 40 metres out. Fisher Harris bursting onto the ball. Just forgot to take it with him. Difficult to hold on to in these conditions. But they've got to throw caution to the wind now, the Warriors, obviously. Galvin goes out the back for Burton. Inside for Preston. 25 out from the line. Preston will get up and play it on tackle 3. Big open side to the left. Galvin to Salmon. Holds the pass up nicely. And King is taken down just inside the red zone. 2 tackles left. Marnie, dummies open side. Goes short side for Burton. Sherry now runs sideways back into midfield for Galvin to kick in behind. It sits up in the end goal. And Tuivasa-Sheck takes no chances. Grounds it for a goal line dropout. Kel Mills says, thank God we didn't have Roach doing the commentary because I may have ended up smashing my TV. Not a fan of the blocker, eh? Warriors go short with the restart. It breaks the 10 and goes into touch. It breaks the plane of the 10-metre line and goes into touch. Warriors should get the ball back here. Oh, Tuivasa-Sheck might have touched it. They're going to have a look. It did. I'm pretty sure it broke the plane of the 10-metre line and went into touch, but it looks like it might have grazed the foot of Tuivasa-Sheck here. He might have just got in the way of it and cost his team the ball. It's just skidding across the turf. Now it sits up. Duala's there, right on the 10-metre line. And there, it seems like there's a small deflection here. Oh no, Tuivasa-Sheck might have just avoided this. It goes in between his legs. Seems like he's done very well, actually, to stay out of the way of that one. And it goes into touch over the 10-metre line. This should be Warriors' ball. So the Bulldogs retain their challenge, but the Warriors get the ball. I believe is the end result of that. Matthew Bacani, ahoy mate, who let the Dogs out. As Kurt Capewell's ready to return for the final 6 minutes. Honestly, I thought they would have just left him off. But Curtis Capewell coming back on. Scrum down Warriors. They break away to the right. Pompey takes it into contact. One out from the scrum. Clark winds up. Gets the big legs pumping. And he's taken on the 20-metre line. Aaron Clark into midfield for Fisher Harris. Tackle 3. 6.5 to go. Harris-Tavita back on the inside for Taupiki. Opens up in midfield. But Kikau slides across and brings him down. Clark goes again up to halfway. Oh, he's a beast, Aaron Clark. 5th and last. Fisher Harris on to Harris-Tavita. Now Capewell freshly back on. Dummies and cuts back in field. Grubbers in behind the line. And it sits up for Carraz on the 20-metre line. Nobody to offload to here, Carraz. And he brings it back to the 30 for the Bulldogs to start this set. 5 minutes 45 to go. Bulldogs up 32 points to 8. Quite a dominant display in the end. Zach the GOAT, ahoy mate. 32 to 8. What the hell happened? The Bulldogs have just played a perfect wet weather footy ball game. Their game plan has been immense. Kicking early and kicking long in behind the Warriors. The Warriors have played most of their ball from inside their own 10 as Marnie scoots out a dummy half. Takes it inside the Warriors 40 on the 5th and last. Galvin down the short side from 30 out, puts it high. Crichton chasing through. Pressure at the back is well taken by Taupiki. But again, the Warriors start the set 5 out from their own try line. They have just been absolutely pinned down in quicksand in their own end of the field. It's been the near perfect game from the Bulldogs. And it's amazing to think that just like 10 or 11 weeks ago, the Panthers were bottom of the table. And they are now in the top 4. The Penrith Panthers. As the Warriors shift left, cut out pass for Roger. Shown the sideline, and he's taken over the sideline now to Ivasashek. But we've got a whistle in back play. Oh, and we've got a player down here. Oh, the Warriors, surely not. They can't possibly have another injury. Kickow has just cleaned up Harris-Tavita in back play. Harris-Tavita passes the ball. Kickow drops him. Could be a penalty for a late shot here from Kickow. Harris-Tavita's up and about. And as a matter of fact, he's the one taking the kick to touch, so he's fine. Finds touch just inside the Bulldogs' half. Halasima sends it over into midfield for Taupiki, who just sends it along the line. And the Warriors take tackle 1 here. Just inside the Bulldogs' half. 40 metres out now on play 2. It is absolutely hammering down rain here in Brisbane. I can hear it outside my studio window. 6 again for a ruck infringement. Warriors with a full set of 6 now. 3.5 to play. 30 out from the line. Stowers Smith backs into the defense. Hughes to Harris-Tavita. Kicks in behind, and it's taken on the fall by Tuala. It was a poor kick. Harris-Tavita trying something a little different, but he has picked out Nari Tuala at the back. And the Bulldogs have the ball now. Burton taken down 15 out as the Bulldogs will go level on points with the Melbourne Storm in second place. And the Panthers will hold on to 4th spot. That's unbelievable. Panthers in 4th. Two and a half minutes remaining. 2 tackles left here for the Bulldogs. Galvin out the back for Kiraz. Cut out pass intercepted by Roger. And Tuivasa-Sheck will score. Consolation points here for the Warriors. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck bags the intercept and scores 32 points to 12. Kick to come. DJ Shack says Panthers should send the Bulldogs a fruit basket or 2 for this win. As Pompey moves in, puts it down the middle, Adam Pompey makes it 32 points to 14. Some consolation points for the Warriors, but not through anybody that I needed. A dismal old night for the same game multi. That's for sure. Oh, well. On to tomorrow for that. Burton gets this back underway, keeps it low and flat, heads towards touch. Capewell scoops it up, fires it back in field for Tuivasa-Sheck, the try scorer. Tackle just outside the 20. 1 minute and a half to go. Slow play the ball this one. Warriors head to the right. Still inside their own half, still inside their own 40. Halfway through the set, Clark onto Harris-Tavita, out the back for Taupiki. Steps off the left, steps off the right, takes it up over halfway. Stephen Crichton brings him down from behind. Harris-Tavita heads across field. Salmon's got him. Does get the offload away for Nickel Clockstadt, who heads back towards that right touchline. And fifth and last now, right on halfway here for the Warriors. 45 seconds to play. This will be the last set of the game if the Bulldogs get us back. A high ball from midfield. Towering bomb. Everybody lets it bounce. Tuivasa-Sheck bats it back for Capewell. Capewell puts the second kick in, and it's going to sit up in the end goal where Reid Marnie just plants it over the dead ball line. And will that be the end of the game? Will they even have time for the restart? Ten seconds left to play. I don't think they're even going to get time for the dropout. And the Bulldogs, 32 points to 14. Victorious over the Warriors here tonight in the wet, of all things. I was on the fence. See, I sort of thought surely they've been practicing wet weather conditions. They know that it's a weakness of theirs. They can't push. 3 times is not, 3 times is not a coincidence. You lose once in the wet, you play poorly, you go, okay, maybe it just wasn't our night. You play poorly twice in the wet, you go, okay, maybe a couple of other things could have gone our way, what if? But when you lose badly 3 times in the wet, it's no coincidence anymore. So I think the Bulldogs surely were smart enough. Ciraldo surely a smart enough to coach, is what I was thinking, to go away and work on wet weather footy. I mean, third time is no coincidence. So I had that in the back of my mind, that surely they've gone away and they've worked on it. Because I did contemplate switching my tip, but they were just dominant tonight, the Bulldogs. The Warriors just had no chance. Matt Burton kicked to the corners, kicked long, kicked early, turned them around, and the Warriors spent the entire night bringing the ball out of territory. They didn't really get a chance to launch any attack. It's no surprise that one of their only tries came from an intercept against the run of play, because the Bulldogs were just dominant. Incredible performance. All right, Wasted World of Sports. I've got to go grab a feed and get ready for my gaming stream. For those interested, I do have a gaming channel here on YouTube and Twitch, and I'll be heading off to take care of that in about an hour's time. So I'm going to pop off and grab a feed first. If you are interested in it, do feel free to stick around and continue hanging out with me here tonight. It should, on YouTube, automatically transfer you over there. So, hey, maybe I'll catch you over there. But if not, all good. I'll be back again tomorrow for more footy. NRL Sunday. Thank you so much for your company here on this one. As always, very much appreciate it. No joy with the same game multi tonight. No joy for the Warriors tonight. Well done, Bulldogs. Comprehensive 32-14 victors. Cheers, everyone. Catch you later.